Next, I'd like to introduce to you Dr. Bob Kessler, who runs the Entertainment Arts and Engineering program, to talk to you a little bit about what he's doing and their capabilities.
Okay, so who is EAE? Well, this is the founders of EAE. There's 5 of us. And that's me on the right-hand side. I look kind of mean and tough, but I'm not really that way. This year we had 3 new faculty members join our little crew, and they're the valiant people out there to fight the evildoers. Today you're going to hear from Roger and Craig and also Jose. And each of them are going to talk about different aspects of what we do, what EAE does. So what is EAE? Eat and eat? No. Experimental autoimmune and something? No. How about everyone and everybody? I don't know. How about for our Canadian friends, Engineering Arts A? No. What it is entertainment arts and engineering. And that's what we are, and this is what we do. Interdisciplinary academic engagement and research and scholarship through team-oriented partnership of arts, engineers, and producers in the exploration of entertainment and games that affect positive change. Well, really, we make games. Come on. Go. But why video games? Aren't they the super violent time wasters that are played by teenage boys? This is what everybody thinks of when you think of video games. And the statistics wear that out. 99% of boys under 18 play regularly, and 94% of girls under 18 play regularly. Those numbers are startling. But wait, these are also video gamers. 47% of all game players are women, and there are more adult women playing games than boys 17 and under. That's surprising. And mostly it's because there's more people over 17 than there are under 17. But, you know, you get the idea. New video gamers, budding video gamers. Yes, even babies and toddlers. And that's actually a domain where people try to make games, is for babies and toddlers. We've even done that. 62% of gamers play games with others. 58% of gamers play on portable devices. This is a change that's happened over the last 4 or 5 years. And 75% of all American households play video games. That's a huge number. So games are big business. As John mentioned, if you compare the video game sales to movies, they're exceeding movies. And worldwide games will grow from $67 billion this year to $82 billion in 2017. Those are big numbers. They can be highly profitable, as John mentioned. The numbers I had was $800 million in one day and $1 billion it made in 3 weeks. And it cost $140 million to make. Roughly $70 million to actually make it and $70 million to market it. So it's big marketing budgets. But games aren't just for entertainment, as we saw. Folded is another example of a fascinating video game that was designed to have a kind of a crowdsourced way of looking at solving a protein folding problem. And by putting this out, the community was actually able to solve this problem that they've been working on for decades, and they solved it in a few weeks. And they even got a paper out of it, which was pretty cool. So as John mentioned, games are different. And what we think is going on is that when you're playing a video game, which is on the left-hand side, the reward centers of your brain are being activated. And on the right-hand side is when you're watching someone play a video game. So when you're not interactively involved. And so the difference comes from the actual interaction in the game. And by invoking the reward centers, then you can use that as we design games to actually have effects on people. And that, we believe, is where it's coming from. So there's been, as you've seen, examples. Here's another one, a study that came from this year where they reduced the cognitive decline of seniors. They had seniors play a video game versus doing crossword puzzles. And after a year's worth of doing this, the people playing crossword puzzles, there was cognitive decline at the expected rate, but the people playing the video games, there was actually cognitive improvement. Another one that just came out in Nature, where they studied improving multitasking capabilities, and the claims in this paper is that they took seniors and they were able to improve their multitasking skills to get it down to where 20-year-olds by playing a game where you actually had to do two things at once. So EAE is about research and development of video games to help people. That's where we come into this domain. Here's some statistics to let you know about us. We're just starting our 7th year of our undergrad program. There's 210 EAE undergrads between our 2 degrees. It's a partnership between the school, or the Department of Film and Media Arts, and the School of Computing. And it's growing massively. There's 160 freshmen in the beginning programming class. So we expect that 210 is going to increase a lot once they get through their first initial classes. Our 4th cohort of master's students just started. Our incoming class has 50 students in it, and we now have 77 master's students between the 2 cohorts that are in our master's program. We've graduated about 100 undergrads since 2010 and 43 master's students since 2012. And our graduates are getting jobs at companies, game companies all over the country, including all the top game companies here in Utah. There's 6 of them, and our students are invading out there, and they're in all these companies. And as John mentioned, we are now #1. Our undergrad program is ranked #1 in the nation, and our graduate program is ranked #2. So we're pretty proud of that. So why are we successful? What is it that makes us different? Well, one of the keys is that we are interdisciplinary at our very core. We find that this is actually very difficult to do. It's very difficult to do in a university environment. A university is full of silos, and we try to bridge that gap with artists, engineers, and producers and designers all working together. Our faculty are interdisciplinary, and we encourage this interdisciplinary work. We don't allow egos, and we embrace the differences of the different people that are involved in producing these games and respect them. Another important aspect that we have of our EAE program is very close industry ties. And one of the things that makes it very fortunate for us is there are a number of video game companies just a train ride away. And so that allows the professionals to come up to campus and interact with us and our students, and allows our students to go down there and visit with them, get internships and jobs, and that close partnerships allows for us to have an excellent program. It helps keep us grounded, and it, as it says, improves the engagement of the students. Another key that we have in EAE that makes us successful is that we're very big on process, on the development process of games. And we think it's probably the key of how we do collaboration. One of the things that we get is critique. So this is something that artists are well versed in doing. When you create a piece of art, everyone critiques it. We do that in the process. Both artists and engineers and producers do that. And we also use something called Agile process. And Agile means that you do a highly iterative development. So you start working on whatever game that you're working on, and then you revise it, you test it, you revise it, you test it, and you keep going through that iterative development process. And that can be very effective to come up with very successful products. And another key element of our program is that everybody learns design. We don't just create designers as a particular part of the student, a particular class of students. Everybody learns design. And so that allows everybody to be informed and provide input into the development of games. Lastly, the last thing that we do is we spend a lot of time coaching the students. Our faculty are very closely involved with all of the students. We interact with them, industry interacts with them, even senior students involved with younger students to offer encouragement, guidance, and really try to expect professionalism out of the students. Another element that's important in our success is that we require everybody to publish what they do. And in our case, publishing is not only papers, but also video games. And these get released on Xbox or PlayStation or wherever the particular platform happens to be. And finally, the last thing that I think that it separates us is we work on really cool research projects. On the left are all the medical games that we are either working on or have worked on, and the ones that are in yellow actually have been funded, and so they're in process. The other ones we're just starting on. On the right-hand side, we have some games that are non-medical related, which we're also doing, including potty training for toddlers, which was a game that we completed about a year ago. And as John mentioned, the PE game just is in clinical trials right now, and we just finished our first patient through the trial, through the feasibility trial just this month. So the bottom line about EAE is that we have a large cadre of eager and talented students. We have a proven track record of applying games to challenging medical problems, and we're really good at what we do. And so we're looking for partners, because we've got the talent and you got the problems.